Okay, so the book of Enoch, the races, it states that Enoch had a dream and there was this white bull and a heifer. And what proceeded from them were a black bull and red bull. Let's pause there for a minute. There was a white bull and a heifer. What proceeded from them was a black bull and a red bull. We're going to figure it out now. And after that, the black bull killed the red bull, and the heifer was distraught. And the white bull came and comforted the heifer. And the white bull departed, had more white bulls and departed from the black bull and the other animals. So let's think about this. The black bull kills the red bull. Isn't this parallel to Genesis, Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel? Stop there and think about it. Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel. So, first off, the semblance is Adam and Eve, a white bull and a heifer. Pause there and think about it. This was in Africa, where God formed man out of the dust of the ground and breathed his breath into man, his nostrils, and we became living souls. Now, before I get into that, I must really state, because I think the whole thing about the book of Enoch that some may overpass because of the truth that comes forth from the book of Enoch is there is so God created man and he began out of the dust of the ground, okay? And he began to populate the world, okay? And the angels, sons of God, they saw the sons and daughters of man, okay? Saw that the daughters were beautiful. And the angels made a pact and stated, they made a pact and they came down and they fornicated with the daughters of men. Okay. And they began to teach man dark arts, dark magic arts. Okay. Now, the point of this is in Africa. Now, as you get along in the book of Enoch, so we started Genesis, okay? Man populates the world. God forms man out of the dust of the ground, breathed his breath into the nostrils of man. We became living souls, okay? And we populate the earth, the land. If we made out of the dust of the earth, what color was that dirt? Now, okay, so I'm trying to clear this because the point is the fallen angels, the angels that came down, okay, and started sleeping with the daughters of men, They had children, and those children, as we're going to see, those children, uh, and they began to teach and bring sin, more sin into the world. Okay. So here's the thing. You get through some time in Enoch, and you find that in that time there was a lot of like the giants, they were eating eating men, and they were killing people, and a lot of blood um, was upon the earth, and the souls cried out to God. Okay. Now, this is right before Noah, right before the flood. Now, we have to understand Enoch is important because he was the seventh from Adam, and he was an Ethiopian. So the genes had to be strong. He's the seventh from Adam, an Ethiopian. So that's the first thing to think about. All right. He was an Ethiopian. Ethiopians look like the dirt of Africa from which God formed. So let's just think about that. Okay. Now flip back to the races when there was a white bull and a heifer, and the black bull killed the red bull, which is Cain and Abel. Where did the white bull come from? If God formed man out of the dust of the ground, Enoch was the seventh from Adam, an Ethiopian, and he looked like the dust of the ground. Now, again, it is real important for us to look past this for a moment, actually for a greater extent of the thing, because of the sin and the iniquity that was upon the earth, God attributed all the sin to the fallen angel. That's what people don't know. And that's just extremely, extremely, extremely important, because all the sins of the world, the people that was in the world then, the inhabitants, they were acquitted of all of their sins, We were babies. We did not know. We couldn't make a choice. Okay. We couldn't make a choice. So all of those people were acquitted, and all of the sin, this is important, all of the sin was attributed to the fallen angels. Okay. Very important. The fallen angel, all of the sin was attributed to the fallen angels who taught man all of these various sins, weaponry and the dark arts and the makeup and all of these other things. Okay. That's very, very, that's like, man, that's huge for us not to know. Because, and then we can get to like how Abraham had faith in God, was going to offer up his son. And we can be like, well, since man had faith in God, God has faith in us to choose. Okay. To choose, to accept. You don't have to believe as I believe Jesus for the atonement of our sins. Because that's why I say God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believe in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. He loved us because it repented him when he destroyed the world with the flood the first time because of all the iniquity. And it hurt his heart that he made us because of all the iniquity, because we weren't supposed to be murdering and all of these other things like that. Okay. He loved us that much. All right. That he gave us Jesus to show us in the way. Okay, that whoever believe in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. So it's like we were acquitted with the fallen angel. And then we were given Jesus just to accept him, confess him, believe in our heart that God rose him. Okay, learn from Jesus, learn from the Son, reverence the Son. Okay. And so we make that choice. Okay. And it's love, it's growth. Okay, it's like time. It's just love. It's growth. You know what I'm saying? People learn. People make mistakes. You forgive. You grow. So, okay. So now here's the thing. When Noah, now we're speaking about the white bull who had a heifer and proceeded from them was a black bull and a red bull, and the black bull killed the red bull. So we can safely say that this is a mirror of Genesis. Okay, Adam and Eve. Enoch being the seventh from Adam, an Ethiopian. Okay, genes are strong. So Ethiopian being dark, we can only say, well, and then the dust of the ground in Africa is dark. Okay. And with the dust of the ground being dark, we can only say that Adam was dark as well. And if we use scientific fact, they say the earliest humans were found in Africa. Okay, so all of that just lines up. So the thing with where did that white bull come from? They saying that's like the father of like the races. Okay, and this is, you know, I just want people to think about first, you know, like the fallen angel. That's the most important, because all of the sin were handed to the fallen angels that brought the sin into the world. Okay, the reason why God destroyed the world with the flood. So now we get to from Enoch, his son Methuselah. Methuselah had Lamech. Now it was all of this sin and iniquity in the world, and Noah comes on the scene. God does a miraculous thing, okay? And with this miraculous thing, it's like Lamech, Lamech has a child, a son, all right? A white child with blue eyes and curly hair. And he blessed God, okay? God did something that Lamech couldn't understand. Lamech was afraid. Lamech said to Methuselah, he said, speak to Enoch to find out what is with this child, because he thought that his wife, was it Edna? I'm not sure, had slept with someone else, and that it was a child of one of the fallen angels. So if it's a child of one of the fallen angels, okay, that means that the original people, they were not Caucasian. Okay. And the only Caucasians were the children of the fallen angels. So if you flip to the races, where did this white bull come from? Did this white bull just like replace Adam, the original Adam? Okay, who was made out of the dust of the ground, which okay, and then Enoch, which is the seventh from Adam. Just think about it. Okay. I state this because I don't know, it was on my mind for one reason or another. And, you know, I'm sure people will get the book of Enoch. And when they get to that book, they, you know, some will be all for it, some will be all against it. But whichever you choose, because, you know, some have stated, well, you know, that was written by someone different. I'm along those lines to say it was written by someone that was different. Excuse me. Man. Excuse me. I apologize about that. So anyway, that